order to achieve our 2030, the proposed 2030 targets in terms of energy efficiency, a lot more will have to be done in the buildings area. So we need to accelerate the refurbishment of our buildings, and to refurbish our buildings we need to provide to all citizens, companies and public authorities willing to refurbish the building access to financing. And covered bonds, green covered bonds related to energy efficiency is the way to improve the liquidity on the market and then to provide the access to financing to project developers.
Well, from our perspective, I think there are three main developments that we really wanted to report on today related to our energy efficiency mortgage initiative. So the first one was that based on an application for EU funding that we made and delivered in September, we actually were successful. So we received confirmation in January of this year that we had been successful in our funding application. The EU funded project will begin in June and will be officially kicked off in Rome so on the 9th of June. We're very excited because that means that we can really take this project a lot further, a lot faster with the support of the EU. The second development is very much related to the EU mortgage, the Energy Efficient Mortgage Initiative. So basically what we can achieve by delivering this Energy Efficient Mortgage Initiative is additional synergies in the mortgage and covered bond value chain by delivering or creating a new asset class, the energy efficient mortgage asset class. So in parallel to our work on the Energy Efficient Mortgage Initiative, what we've actually been doing is working on a definition of a sustainable covered bond, which we hope over time to be able to transform into an energy efficient covered bond label. So that's a really exciting development on the funding side. And the final development that we were very keen to share today with the audience was that based on our success with our first application, our first funding application to support our Energy Efficient Mortgage Initiative, we are currently working on a second application which will deliver a project to complement and support the Energy Efficient Mortgage Initiative. And specifically, it's about designing a protocol for the gathering, processing and disclosing of information, data on green or let's say in the longer term, energy efficient mortgage collateral assets, their performance and borrower profile. So that's something that will, in the longer term, really support the Energy Efficient Mortgage Initiative and will be, I think, crucial to its success.
Well, the main message was that that green bonds are a great opportunity for the covered bond market and also for banks in particular. Energy efficiency, because that was a topic we discussed today, is one of the major challenges, not only for Europe but for the entire world. And I think banks can play a very important role there. Because at the moment that people will move there from one house to the other, I think that's exactly the moment that people can change and make the energy efficiency improvements. And what banks can do is help them in that perspective, providing loans and also try to encourage them to make these changements, which is obviously good for the environment and for the energy efficiency targets for the European Union as well.
We should carry on giving even more speed there to create at the final step some sort of blueprint for what could be an energy efficient covered bond in the future, because that would enable us to really boost this asset class of green bonds.
So I guess the key starting point was, when we look at the green bond market, where do we stand today? And there's been a clear investor diversification over the last 2 years, and we've had more dedicated green bond fund being set up, mandates really given for green bonds to be invested in, and even for banks and insurance having a dedicated strategy for green bonds. So from that perspective, it's still small, but definitely growing. And the next stage of how do we bring issuers to the green bond market is most of the time around pricing. And if you look, one of the key elements being discussed is, what is the pricing and is there a differential? And from that perspective, green covered bond is really a great tool because it's obviously much more focused. So we focus on one category of assets, which are energy efficient mortgages, and how do you define them? And you also have through the ECBC and the EMF, obviously, the whole value chain being represented and a whole ecosystem of participants able to really define what we want to see in energy efficient mortgage. So I think the initiative is great to really build on the current momentum and really drive something new and significant in the market.
IFC is part of the World Bank Group. We are happy to share our experience on an international level, how we have started to create green housing finance markets. For example, in a very small country in Albania, we have worked with 5 lenders to create energy efficiency loans, which help people to renovate their buildings so that they can benefit from lower insulation. And actually, these people are now saving money, and we have also contributed to a savings in energy consumption. So therefore, I believe the focus on green housing is definitely a market where lenders should look at it, which provides a lot of future.